I was about to say, what's that white thing for? But it's a mark. I get it now.
Oh shit, they dropped that song too.
All right.
I'm excited.
Perfect. 14, 15. All right, we're back. Episode 15, Bay affiliated. We drove all the way up north. We're in Sacramento at Southside Park. I got an individual that has been consistent. They've been disciplined, not only when it comes to content, but when it comes to their personal development and changing their life. I first got wind of bro when I was just online, scrolling on social media like I'm not supposed to. And I noticed that this guy, he had a background like mine. He comes from the same, general area, Northern California. And he was focused on bettering himself, focusing on advancement, focusing on pushing himself forward rather than staying stuck in his, old behaviors, old character defects. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to introduce my boy Thumps.
What's up with it, man?
Yes,
You already
sir.
know you rocking with Thumps. Yeah, man, we here. We rocking with Bay affiliated. We in Sacramento, Sacktown, Southside Park. Beautiful park, legendary park. But yeah, it's good. I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir. So tell me the significance of this park and exactly, why you decided to pick this spot.
Man, I feel like this is one of the parks. We got many out here, but this is one of the parks that represents Sacramento a lot. You got all type of different kind of trees, regardless of what the water tower says now. It says the farm to fork capital now, but man, real OGs from Sacramento, that's a city of trees. That'll never change, straight up. But yeah, the artwork and shit, you feel me? The whole vibe of it, when the sunshine hits this park right, and then, there's a lot of homies that came up right here, man. This is a legendary park. So, this is why I love it. I got a lot of videos here and shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I've been seeing you got a couple burpee videos here, and it's very prevalent. You're proud of where you're from, and you love Sacramento. But I want to get the whole story, bro. So we're gonna take it all the way back. So tell me, what was it like growing up in Sacramento? What was young Thumps like for the people that don't know?
Man, young Thumps was a wild motherfucker, athletic motherfucker, man. I started off playing Little League baseball in South Sac. I played for Airport Little League and shit. My pops had me and all that. He was a baseball player and shit. I grew up right around the corner from, right here, Southside Park on 4th and T, right next to Vallejo's back in the day. But anything that I could do outside, that was me. I came from that era where when you bent down the street, you couldn't really speed like that because there was nothing but kids out there. There was a basketball hoop. There was a motherfucking ramp made out of a board and a couple rocks, you feel me, on the bikes. Dirt cloud wars, all type of shit, you feel me? So I came up around that time. We didn't have cell phones like that. The first smartphone I ever touched, bro, was in the penitentiary, you feel me? So, we wasn't on phones and social media, nothing like that. MySpace was the last thing I checked before I got locked up, you feel me?
Right.
Yeah, that was me, man.
And I know you did a bunch of time, but we'll get there. So let's talk about, were you able to finish school, middle school, high school? Like, what's the farthest grade level you got to before, your situation took place?
Yeah,
and take us through, like, who you were, growing up, playing outside, being athletic. Like, take us through how the change happened and the shift happened that led to, your situation.
Yeah, so like I said, I was, sports was my thing, whether it was outside, playing football with the homies or something, basketball. I was in Little League. And I just loved it, skateboarding. Even, I remember watching as a kid the X Games on Saturday mornings, the dirt bikes and all that type of shit. That was my shit. My dad got me into BMX. We was riding bikes and popping wheelies, and then when it came to school, I was always a smart motherfucker. I just chose to do dumb shit. It wasn't cool to be a smart motherfucker, but, when I would hear my parents having meetings with the teachers, they'd be like, man, he's really, smart. He just choosing to get in trouble, or he can't stop fighting, or he can't stop. That was one thing too. I was always, aside from the athletics, like I was always aggressive. I was always like, I remember the first time I ever got suspended from school for a fight was in preschool, bro.
Damn.
In preschool, somebody tried to grab me like from behind, and I hit him with an elbow, nose bled, all type of shit. Got, sent home for that shit. So, I was lost, really, or really just a young kid, just, trying to find yourself. You didn't know if you wanted to just, be a class clown just because your friends was doing it, or, you know, do what you really know you could do, be good at school, or, you know, whatever the fuck.
It's funny you say that, bro, because you know, growing up in Northern California, I feel like we all had the same upbringing, like when it comes to sports, being outside, especially you were born in the 90s, bro. And I remember the first time I really did something bad to someone was preschool, bro. I had a Lego fucking X Games shit, and I built it all up. It was a quarter pipe, and for some reason this kid told this girl to break it, bro, and I choked the shit out of him, my boy, like, until, like, they had to come get me off of him, bro. And I was in preschool, like, fuck, like, I really did that, but it's like, nigga, I love skateboarding so much at that time, right? So, moving forward, like, when do you think that shift happened where you were kind of like, all right, I know I'm smart, I know I like playing outside, but I kind of like fighting a little bit more? Like, when did you see yourself steering away from the more positive things like skating, playing sports, you know, getting good grades and shit?
Oh, yeah, when I steered
happen?
away from the positive shit, that really happened. So my dad, you know, he went to prison when I was like 8 or 9, you know, and I remember, I think it was the summer of 4th grade going into 5th grade, you know, my pops got locked up. And, you know, he's the one who, you know, up until that point, damn near taught me everything I knew, you know, whether it was about sports or, you know, he taught me how to backflip, how to throw a football, you know, all type of shit. But once he left, I didn't have that, you know, checks and balances in life where, hey, you know, you ain't on your shit, or you got to do this. Just that fatherly advice, how you steer your son, you know? Yeah. That shit just got snatched from me. And, you know, I didn't find out until later, but, you know, the whole time, pops and moms was on drugs. So, you know, once my pops leaves, he was the only one that was making money for the household and shit like that. We used to live by G Parkway in South Sac. And, you know, once he left, my mom, she's still on drugs, but she was a stay-at-home mom. So now she left with 2 kids and some crazy shit going on. And we had to move back with, you know, her mom, which is my nana. And she, instead of, you know, doing what a mom was supposed to do, or, you know, however it was supposed to go, it just seemed like everything got worse, especially with the drugs. So, you know, I lost my dad, and I damn near in the same sense lost my mom, but just to the drugs. She was there, but she wasn't there, you feel me? Right. So, I mean, and also living in South Sacramento, it's, you know, the same story damn near in every household, or especially motherfuckers who come from, you know, where we come from. So that's who you mingling with. Right. We outside because, you know, moms and all them, they don't want us inside. They doing shit that we ain't supposed to see. Right. So we're forced to go outside, and then we see each other, and then it's just a natural, you know, boy thing. Motherfuckers trying to be tougher than one another, prove yourself, this and that. And that shit starts evolving, bro. And, you know, the older you get, it'll go from, you know, back in the day, you know, motherfuckers was only fist fighting. You feel me? Fights. And then the first time I ever had a gun pulled on me, I was like, oh, okay, that's how we playing. I got one immediately. How old were you when that happened, you think? About 15. Okay. 15, right before I got locked up. Like, that shit happened real quick. Things escalated so fast. Like, went from straight being in high school, getting suspended for, you know, beating up Southsiders and whoop-de-whoop. And then it comes to, damn, motherfuckers are sliding down the block, hanging out the window, busting at you, and you know, you having full-on shootouts. You know, you're panicking, you know, you're like, God damn, these motherfuckers really trying to, you know, this shit is really turned up. Yeah. You know, that's a taste of this gangbanging shit that a lot of motherfuckers, they talk about, but they don't really know that shit. You know, you just walking down the street, a motherfucker sparking shit up on you, and you running into ops, you know, left and right. Like, I felt like as soon as I got that gun, whatever that gun was carrying, that evilness, it brought it around me. Because no guns, you know, really started coming out until I got one. Right, exactly. Feel me? Live by the gun, you gonna die by the gun. Okay. And so you saying you got your first gun at 15, so how long did it take you from when you got your first gun to catching that case that ultimately changed everything? Bro, I got my gun probably like 2 months before my birthday, turning 16, September 27, 2010. Is when I turned 16, bro. And I got locked up December 7th, 2010. Damn. For 2 attempted murders, wasted 2 gang enhancements, 2 gun enhancements, 2 GBI enhancements. I was looking at 50 to life when they first, you know, started talking about shit in court. Even, you know, when I first got to juvenile hall, I'll never forget when the first staff member that picked me up from the holding tank and was walking me to the unit, he looked at my charges and he looked at me, he said, oh, you're gonna be here a minute. Damn. You know, but what did that feel like when you're, you know, 16 and that's the first thing that the first staff member says to you? What went through your mind if you could remember? Man, I just, you know, when I heard it, I knew you know, even before he said that, I knew, because I knew what I did.
Yeah.
You know, and then in the interrogation room, I ended up, you know, they was like, man, your boy led us straight to you, whoop-de-whoop. So I knew it was a wrap, you know? They got my gun, they got my bullets, like, I knew it. You know, look, the difference with me is, like, I don't know, bro, I was, like, really, this was all I wanted to do. I trained to be, you know, like a gang member. I wanted to go to prison. Like, I really wanted to go to prison. I was obsessed. My favorite movie was American Me.
Right,
me?
yeah.
Like, I was just on a crazy path. You know, now that I'm older, I realize it was because of what I went through in my household, and I was just a, you know, sad, lonely kid just trying to figure myself out with no guidance, and it just, I got the wrong guidance, but yeah, bro.
And I feel like we were talking about before the cameras came on, like when you're that age and you're making those decisions, like you think everybody is like this. You think all the homies are just as obsessed with smashing these fools just like me, so this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the next step of the evolution of what I'm trying to be. And then it's like we don't understand till we get this age that, like, damn, bro, it's not. It was maybe 5%.
Only me and a few homies was really on that. And,
yeah.
You know, I ended up running into them homies in the pen, but for the most part, you know, a lot of motherfuckers I came up with that I thought I was like, you know, trying to impress and prove myself to, you know, them motherfuckers ain't never did nothing. Ain't seen a jail cell, nothing like that, which is good. But in that life at that time, like, it's like, damn, bro, I thought we was all on that. I thought we was all doing that. You feel me?
And by no means, like, should you want to be in jail. By everything possible, stay out of jail. But if you sign up for certain shit and you're gonna talk and walk a certain way, like, you gotta have certain things to go with it, bro.
That's the misconception.
We can't see it when we're that age, bro.
Exactly.
We can't tell the difference. All we see is like, all right, he's in red, he's in red. All right, that's the homie. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah, they try to, you know, paint this narrative that, you know, motherfuckers is trying to glorify this shit, and it's like, nah, nobody's glorifying it. But you got to understand there's two sides of the token. There's a spot where if you want to crash out, there's a place for you, man.
Right.
Like, there's always a spot in this game for motherfuckers that'll just throw their life away.
Right.
But there's also a side of this token where you can fucking get educated and get taught, you know, business maneuvers and all type of ventures that you can have avenues of revenue legitly, you know? Like we were saying earlier, like, you know, usually trappers is riding around with shit in their car and they serving motherfuckers here and there. Nowadays, I'm doing that same exact thing, but instead of drugs or any type of illegal shit, it's a motherfucking sweater, it's some merch, you know, it's a, you know, it's a business that I got running, it's legitly. I don't have to worry about nothing, and I'm clocking more dough than most motherfuckers who are at a regular job, you feel me?
And it's like, you could, the goal is to, you know, be fully self-sufficient, right?
Exactly.
And being in this game, like the content game and just entrepreneurship like you are now, like in the beginning, I'm sure like myself, I went through this like, damn, is this gonna work? This shit taking hella long, but once it hit, you're like, okay, now I see what it's about. Now I see why everybody was telling me back in the day, like, you should do this probably. You should probably slow down a bit and go this route, but like, you can't see that, bro, at such a young age. So tell me, like, take us to like that first, you know, you told us what the staff said, like, but what were you feeling like those first months, weeks, days? You know, you said you went to, did they try you as an adult, right?
Yeah.
How long did you stay in juvie for before they sent you to the county or to the pen?
Well, my 18th birthday, that was my birthday present. I went to Sac County main jail. But that whole time while I was in there, I mean, I was hoping that I got out, but I just knew realistically the shit that I got on me, like, I'm gonna do some time.
Right.
So really that whole time while I was in juvenile hall, I was trying to prepare myself for what was to come. I knew I was on my way to prison, so, you know, we were in juvenile hall checking paperwork and making program mando and, you know, all that type of shit. That's just basic shit, you feel me? But we were in the hall programming like that.
Okay.
You know, so I really accepted it. You know, at that time I had a one-track mind from, you know, when I started this shit on the streets, and once I got in the pen, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go all the way with it. You know, I'm rocking. So I was getting into fights in there. You know, I caught another case on the Southsider in there for getting on them. You know, hella shit. I've been in hella fades in there. Did 2 years straight in there.
Damn, that's wild. Okay, so but before we talk about how it is in the pen, like how was, you know, like, what was the relationship you had with, you know, Southsiders, like, outside? Because once we talk about the pen, I want you to describe the relationship on the inside. You feel me? So how is it being a young Hispanic male from Northern California with you know, there's Southsiders up here, but how is it really?
Yeah,
in
really,
Northern California when it comes to Southsiders?
So, you know, what we're taught from being young pups, you already know, we in bully mode. Anytime you see somebody who could be suspected as a Southsider, we pressing them, we trying to get on them, all type of shit. But more times than not, like, it's real foreign for somebody in Northern California to be a Southsider and really bang on somebody and like really post up. Like, you don't see that shit. You can't go to parks and just see a group of Southsiders or like shit like that up here like that, man. Like, that ain't never been the case. But when we do run into them and we press them, bro, they say, I'm a paisa, I don't bang, whoop-de-whoop, this and that. And it's just like, bro, once they, you know, die down and they, you know, kicking it with other motherfuckers and they come up and they got a group around them, all of a sudden they Southsiders.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, didn't we just punk you and you say you didn't bang this and that? Like, come on, bro.
And it's like we were talking about. It don't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Indian. Like, growing up in Northern California, you just know, like, we're not supposed to be cool or kick it with or associate with them guys. You don't even got to bang. It's like, even before I decided to be a homie, like I told you, I didn't decide to make that decision until I was like 16, 17. But like, there was these kids in elementary school, bro. Like, we're not even 10 years old yet. They were quote unquote Southsiders, bro. And they used to chase me and my friend Michael home every day. Every day we'd walk home. But for some reason, this is how sick my head was. I knew, I was like, they don't check my backpack. You know what I mean? And at this time, I was obsessed with airsoft guns, bro. I was like, they're not gonna check my backpack. You know what I mean? So I took 2 of my airsoft guns to school and I showed Michael in the bathroom. And as soon as they tried to chase us at the apartments, bro, ran them down with these fucking airsoft guns. But that's like before I was even 12 years old. So it's like, I wanted you to speak on that because I feel like in the media now, because LA, they got all the studios, they got all the cameras.
They the bright lights.
You know what I mean? They got
Hollywood
on camera first, so that people think, but it's not like that, bro. Like, in my hometown, like I was telling you, there's one street that has been, it's like a legend, it's like a myth. Like we've never seen them. Like, they say they're over there, but I've never seen them in my life.
That's how it is over here, Howe Park. That's just like a ghost town, really. I mean, all you see is like Armenians or like East Indian people. Like, that shit ain't like that. The media, you know, like you said, they got the big platform, so they can spin it. As long as they put it in front of people, people are gonna eat it up. And whatever they say, because we weren't saying nothing for a long time, you know, we weren't even tripping, but because how they say it and how they spin it, they make it seem like motherfuckers is just everywhere and they run the map and like we can't go outside without seeing one.
Northern California, right?
Like, I'm telling you, bro, the last Southsider in my entire life, I'm finna be 32 in September, the last Southsider that ever tried to get hard with me, that was my case right there. That was my case right there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
I mean, but look, at the same time, like I said, you know, motherfucker did time with them. And I know real Southsiders from real Southside gangs from Southern California. And we was in there playing sports with them, basketball, handball, you know what I'm saying? We was busting spreads with them. We was celebrating certain holidays and shit like that. I've had to post up with an OG, you know what I'm saying, from my side and an OG from their side, and they playing cards, kicking it. You feel me? So,
no disrespect, no nothing.
Yeah, none
just
of that.
Cordial, man to man.
At the very bottom line, gang shit, period, no matter if you, you know, a homie, a sureño, a motherfucking blood crip, whatever. It's all about respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And more times than not, if a motherfucker approach you with respect, especially, you know, they don't even know what norteños is for the most part, except the internet. So if you come with respect, you know what I'm saying? But you also, it ain't about disrespecting them, but you let them know, like, hey, fool, I'm a norteño.
Right.
And if they don't respond with no energy, then, oh, boom, shake your hand, it's all good, bro.
Right, exactly.
Player shit. But, you know, motherfuckers try to say that, oh, it's bad. You know, that's how that old LA shit happened with me.
Yeah, speak on that situation, because I saw online you were playing handball down there. You and Bust Down, y'all was down there chilling.
Yeah.
And then there was a situation that transpired. Take us through that.
Man, yeah, so we out there all day. You know, we hit Venice like in the early morning, probably like 9, 10 o'clock, you feel me? And, you know, we live up there. You know, we all got platforms we trying to push. So, you know, motherfuckers doing content, you know, and we was literally up there from like 9, 10 in the morning till like, man, 5 or 6 in the evening. So we start skating. We do, you know, me and Buzz Down, we got our skating shit on. We did our reel. And then boom, we went to go Buzz Down at Muscle Beach. We was fucking around with the weights and shit. And then the homie was like, man, you don't shoot handball. I'm like, come on, bro, I do that shit. I shoot that shit. You know, that was my shit in the penitentiary. So boom, we go to the handball courts, and we already know, you know, like, whether motherfuckers want to talk shit or not, there's Southsiders are out there, so we gotta be on 10. Sure. We gotta be alert. So, but we didn't get met with no animosity. There was even another OG, I think he was from Venice, that gang too, and he was playing handball with us before that. The actual videos, that old man, that was a Southsider too, bruh. And he, you know, he was like, oh yeah, I did time with Norteños, with the like, bro, the narrative is not that in real life, you feel me? So, but yeah, we played a couple games with them, and then this other, the 18th Streeter, right? He's behind us at one of our last games, but I could hear him. And he's like, oh, you guys playing penitentiary style? You don't know nothing about penitentiary style? Like, just saying shit like that. And I took that as like, okay, this fool knows what we are. Like, I don't know, he's trying to get loud in the back. I don't like that.
Right.
You feel me? So I'm losing focus of the handball game. I'm like, you know, just throwing that motherfucker against the wall. And the homie that's playing with me, he sees it in my face. He's like, bruh, just play, you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, you know, because really, like I say, I wasn't out there to fucking trip and, you know, go slide on shit. You know, motherfuckers is out there trying to further my platform and network. And, you know, I ain't going to put the other homies in a, you know, a position where they got shit going on. Who would I be? You know, imagine if I went down there, oh, you know, all three of us went to, you know, LA County in there, or I fucked some shit up. You know, you feel me? But, so... you know, this motherfucker's talking loud and I didn't like it. The homie's telling me to be cool, but after the game was over, I walk up to him and I'm like, yeah, me and the homie, we both been to the pen. And he's like, oh yeah? And I knew like the next thing that was gonna come out of his mouth was like, oh yeah, I'm from 18th Street. And I wasn't gonna let that happen. So I told him, yeah, I'm a active Norteño, you feel me? I'm from Sacramento. I did 12 years in the pen with the whoop to see. That was me checking the temperature to see if,
you know what I mean?
If he respond with some shit. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy out here. But he responded exactly like how every encounter I had in the pen with a Sureño that's really from Southern California. That fool was like, oh, yep, it's all good. I did time in the pen. I was here, whoop-de-whoop there. And, you know, that's the same shit. And anybody that's been to the pen, they know that same, like, shit, bro. That's how it's always going to go.
And that's all I've heard from, like, my older homies and older dudes who've been to the pen or to, you know, to jail. It's like, it's not, it's respect first. It's you're a man, I'm a man. And it's like, we got rules and regulations. We're from where we're from, but like, let's keep the peace of this entire facility. Because
and that's the thing too. You know, we've never been about causing scenes or like, you know, doing all that cell soldier shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let you know who I am and I'm gonna come how I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, present myself, but you know, until there's a problem, you know, it ain't gonna be a problem. We out here chilling. Okay. Yeah, I'm a Norteño out here in Southern California. Like, if it's a problem, hey, do something.
Right.
Feel me? And if not, then, you know what I'm saying?
Resume
play, resume yard.
Exactly.
Come on, bro. You know how it go.
That's what's up. So it's like, when you first got to, so you went to the county, then you got to the pen. You're 18 now. So, was that like shocking to you at first to see like homies and Southsiders? Like, tell me what was the biggest misconception once you got there? Like, oh shit, like, it's good actually. You know what I mean?
So like I said,
like, you know, now it's cool, you understand, but I'm sure at 18, fresh off that high, when you were like, nah.
Yeah, it's wild, you know, because like I said, you know, we out here trying to bully shit, and I went down for blasting the Southsiders. So that was my whole mind state, you know, like that's how I came up. But once I got there, although I still had that mindset and I was like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. You know, I also understood, I was laced up right before I went to the pen by an older homie from my hood, rest in peace, and he told me, he was like, look, bro, you know, it ain't about all that rah-rah in there. Like, there's a bigger program. There's shit that motherfuckers got going on that you couldn't even imagine of. There's been shit set in place since the 60s, you feel me? So you fall in line when you get in that motherfucker. You cannot, you know, like, you can't just go all buck wild. This ain't no PC yard. This ain't no YA. You know, you ain't on little kid shit. This is real. Like, the penitentiary active GP main lines, especially level 4s, that's where I started at, bro. And that right there will teach you a different level to this gangster shit. Because we got, you know, out here on the streets, you got to go look for ops, or you might happen to run into ops. Right. But in the pen, we on the yard with ops. Yeah. My neighbor's a op, you know? Like, it's you in the thick of it. Right. So it ain't no running. It ain't. I mean, you could run if you want to. you could run if you want to, but it ain't no running.
Far, though.
Yeah,
ain't nowhere to run.
You know where you can run to, them SNY yards, man. We GP with it. A real GP at heart, man. We ain't running from nothing. Whether I'm out there by myself with 100 of them motherfuckers, or whether we outnumber them, it's going down. You know?
Yeah. So and how many years total did you say you did? You said 12?
Yep, 12.
And so, how long? I'm sure you were turned up in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Of course, right? So how long? So how was it going through that transition of being turned up, a youngster, you know, becoming a man in there, and then realizing like, okay, if I want to get out this motherfucker, I might have to
Yeah.
you know, start adjusting, you know, my protocol, the way I'm moving. You feel me? Take us through that thought process and just the entire process from growing up in the penitentiary.
Hell yeah. So when I got there fresh 18, bro. I turned 18 September 2012, and I was already in North Kern State Prison reception October 23rd, 2012. So
Okay.
it was quick. And then a couple months after that, I was already in Salinas Valley, B-Yard, level 4.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was, you know, like you said, I was ready to, you know what I'm saying? I was still in that mentality. I was volunteering for shit. I was, you know, doing my thing. I was trying to shine and, you know, show motherfuckers I could shine. I was eager, you feel me? But, you know, after a couple years, you know, and you doing your thing and you see how shit goes in there, it's like, okay, I don't have to be so crazy, like, you know, because in the penitentiary, the calmest, coolest, most collective motherfucker will, you know what I'm saying, cut your
Do
head
something
off.
bad to you,
You
yeah.
feel me? So that's how I really learned how, you know, being gangster, it ain't about doing all that crazy shit. Like, motherfuckers is gangster on the inside. You know,
Right.
you born with that shit. You that's how you function. So that's how I started to calm down. And then, you know, I got game from OGs in there. I've been in level 4s, level 3s only, and never hit lower than a level 3. So I was around a lot of motherfuckers who was there before me, a lot of older homies, and they would always tell me, like, look, bro, although you got a lot of time and, you know, the odds are doing what we do, you might not go home, there's always a chance, you know?
Yeah.
And I never believed in it. I just thought that was just some OGs talking that shit.
What they're supposed to say, huh?
But I took heed to it, and even before they started, you know, now they do time cuts if you take classes in the pen and all that shit.
Yeah.
I was doing that before they even thought about giving time cuts for classes.
Okay.
Because I just knew one day they're gonna look back on what I was doing in the pen,
Right.
and if I was just being a motherfucker in there,
Yeah, you're
like
not
they
getting
wouldn't
no
let
love.
me out.
You're gonna get no
like
love.
obviously, yeah, I got to do what I got to do. I've been in a couple situations, but for the most part, when they look at my shit, they're like, damn, this fool, you know, he got his GED. You know, I never graduated high school, but I got that shit immediately when I got in there. You know, I took office services like computers, Microsoft Word, and
Yeah.
PowerPoint, shit like that.
Hell yeah, good
I was
shit.
taking that in there, you know, and then on top of that, I just had hella jobs and shit. I always had jobs. I was pushing the older homies that, you know, was in wheelchairs and shit.
Oh, yeah,
it's
like
called-
caretaker,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
caregiver, yeah,
I would
yeah.
do that, bro, for breakfast, dinner, or whatever if they had medical appointments and shit. You know,
Damn, that's hard, bro.
I've been out there in Salinas Valley, B-Yard, pushing a lawnmower and shit. Fucking Pleasant Valley doing yard crew, you know, like I've always was productive, even though I got into some shit, but
Okay.
you know.
And so you make the shift, right? You're doing, you know, you're doing more positive things, even though you're in a negative situation. Just because you know, like, you know, you have that, you got that glimmer of hope. You know,
Yep.
you don't know if it's real, but like, just in
Yeah.
case this is real, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be prepared, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people, right? Like, this shit, like, you didn't get lucky. Like,
Yeah.
there's motherfuckers in there with the same amount of time as you who chose to not do no school, not to do no jobs, not to do no work, furlough, whatever the case may be. And when their opportunity came, like, they didn't get that chance. You know what I mean? It's not luck. It's just the preparation you did, meeting that opportunity.
Yeah, little did I know when I was 18, the work I put in, the classes I took, and you know how I, for the most part, kept my nose clean. You know, little did I know that when I was 28,
you're gonna reap the benefits.
I'm about to go home on some crazy ass law that changed how the way they was sentencing juveniles as adults. You feel me?
Wow.
And you know, mind you, at the time, this is how much hope like that I always kept it, but like, man, it was looking ugly. I was in the hole for attempted murder.
Damn.
I had, on top of the attempted murders I went to the pen for, I had to do some shit. Boom.
Right.
I'm in the
Another
hole.
one.
I'm in the hole for attempted murder, bro.
Yeah.
And I got 2 strikes already from my first case, so it's not looking bad. They caught me in the cell when the shit happened, you know?
Yeah.
Dude got hit 21 times, punctured his lung, all type of shit. But that's how, man, I just really feel like the universe needs motherfuckers like me, you know, people that been through what I've been through, my story and shit, to show motherfuckers like, man, all this shit we go through, man, we can come out on top of that. That don't have to be us forever, although sometimes it takes some pain and some shit that you don't want to do to get to where you want to be.
No, and that's exactly like what my whole message is, bro. That's why I wanted to get you on here, because like I seen the shift. Like, it's immediately when I saw your content, like, motherfucker, if you know, you know. Like, I didn't even have to see you in real life. I was like, this nigga know, you feel me? So it's like I want the youngsters just to see, like, there's another option, bro. You don't gotta, like you said earlier, like, you could be that dude forever. Like, I got homies in there who still, to this day, they're going. You know what I mean? You feel me? Freedom, mandatory, but it's like there's another option, bro. You can still be respected, righteous and not have to throw your whole life away. So that's like,
and you got to start thinking about how you can be beneficial out here.
Right.
Yeah, you know, there's a place for you. There's always going to be bed space in the penitentiary, but man, if you can make an impact out here within our people, our community, and like-minded motherfuckers, you know, that, I mean, I just feel like that's what I live for. You know, I wasn't meant to be an NPC in this game, man.
Right.
Like, I didn't do all that time. I didn't get all this knowledge that I got just to come out here and slave away at a regular job and just, you know, shout out to motherfuckers who work though.
Definitely get your
feel
bread.
Me?
Go to work if you ain't got nothing else going.
Yeah, I'm just speaking on my path. Like, you know, I'll be damned if I was one of them motherfuckers. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to feed my family off of just being me and my story, and whether I'm inspiring, motivating, you know, getting motherfuckers to just make that shift too, because I know it's hard by yourself. Like,
exactly.
You know, you kind of need somebody to ignite that fire.
Yeah, bro. Like none of this shit would have came unless I saw a motherfucker who had been through the same shit I went through, said he did it. I was like, all right, bet. If he could do it, fuck, I know I could do it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, this shit right here, like all this content and all, you know, I used to talk to, you know, my cousin on the prison phones, and he was telling me, because I would send pictures home and I was swole. I was on my shit. Working out was my thing. And he was like, bro, you know, people are out here on Instagram, you know, YouTube, you know, whatnot, and they're making money, they're feeding their family, they got a roof over their head just off that. He was like, bro, I think you could do it. Damn. And I was going along with it, but, you know, I had other shit on my mind. I came home, bro, and it still took a minute. You know, I've been out in April, it'll be 4 years. I got out April 15, 2022. So, but I've only been content creating for like a year and a half.
Okay.
You feel me? So, because when I got out, you got to think, I went down 16, bro, didn't know nothing, you know, didn't know nothing about being a man, you know, when it comes to being in the real world. I learned some shit about, you know, being in the penitentiary, but as far as getting a job, paying bills, and all the shit you go through out here, I didn't have no training. So I got out just having to learn that shit, you feel me?
And so you get out, you've been out for 4 years, and how long? You said you only been making content for like a year and a half, but take us through that time before you're out. You know you're in shape. You know they're shooting content, but you haven't yet done it because you're like you got to relearn life at this point. So how was that? Like, what was the biggest thing you had to relearn before you got to the point where you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this content shit? Like, how was it just relearning how to be a man on the outside once you got out?
Yeah, I just feel like I needed to, I was working a regular job, you know, and then I was, you know, getting with females who were toxic and just, you know, weren't the right motherfuckers for me. But I feel like I was dealing with that for a couple years. You know, I was actually living in, you know, Marysville and all type of shit, dealing with somebody who was just not for me. And I felt like the universe said, okay, now that you out, we know what we want you to do, but you still gotta live life for a second, you know. I had to get my heart broken. I had to learn about, you know, the shiestiness of what goes on out here. Like, bro, I was a kid when I got locked up. You feel me? So I went through life a bit, worked a lot of jobs, lived in a couple different cities, but I always, you know, was like, nah, man, I feel like this is what I need to do. And I linked back up with my cousin, and he was like, look, bro, one day I got off work. I really didn't have nothing to, you know, nothing to do. And I didn't want to do it either. He was like, look, bro, just come to the park and show him a burpee. Just one burpee. I was like, all right, fuck it. I didn't have nothing to do. So I pulled up, smoked a blunt, went on to the dock, and I just showed people simple 22, 42, 82. Yeah. And after that, bro, the rest is history. Like,
and it just took off from there.
Yeah, it just took off. I seen the momentum, and I kept the
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think you was the first fool up here doing burpees on camera, bro.
Yeah,
you and Bust Down, like, you know what I'm saying? I think you were the first dude to do it, bro, and put it on camera, bro. Like, and really, like, like, not just a burpee, but you were doing, like, the
see,
you feel me? The Superman, all this shit, you feel me? Like, now that I think about it, bro, you were, like, the first person I ever seen doing that, bro. On camera, dude.
And then
that's
my shit was, you know, the way I was original with it is because, you know, shout out Bust Down Sensei and all the homies.
Definitely shout out the homies.
Straight up.
Everybody
all the homies,
working out.
Yeah,
everybody
that got a fitness page, man.
Savage Out supplements, go get that, all that.
But a lot of people were doing it, but they weren't doing the actual counts and how everything's broken down. Like, I was really on a teaching lessons type shit. Yeah. Because I was like, all right, I see people doing burpees, but come on now, like, I really spent 12 years doing this shit. Like, hold on, let me show you how I do them. Yeah. And I guess people were real receptive to it. And, you know, like, even my first videos, like, if motherfuckers can scroll all the way to the bottom, the way I talk to the camera, I sound hella scared. Like, you can't even hear me. You feel
Nervous,
me? Like,
huh?
I was hella nervous. I never done that type of shit. But, you know, once that shit started rolling, and then, you know, I see people fucking with it. I see the followers climbing and the views, likes, whatever. And then I start getting recognized out, you know, in public.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so, you know, that's how now I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? I got my voice, how I go on, and I come with that energy because I take pride in that. I like that shit, you know. I like how people fuck with it. And I like how people, you know, I'm not just on here on some bullshit. You know, I'm actually trying to teach you how to get fit with no weights, no gym, because that's the biggest problem with people. They think it's Mando, you got to go to the gym. You know, I like to start at the very basic level, you know?
Ground
Body
floor.
weight, burpees, push-ups, you know, all that type of shit.
Yeah. That's why I like dudes like you, because, like, I'm in the same space, the fitness space, and motherfuckers always be like, I ain't got time, I got kids, I got this. I'm like, hit the floor, dog.
For real.
Like, my situation all started, my brother used to yell at me like, bro, do your Ray Lewis's, the cards, you know, the deck of cards. He's like, ever since I was like 10, 11 years old, he's like, do your Ray Lewis's, do your Ray Lewis's. And I never wanted to do it, but once I got like big and I was like, couldn't really get to the gym, and I didn't really feel comfortable because I was skinny, then I got big, so I didn't feel comfortable going back to the gym. All started in the room, on the floor, my Ray Lewis's, bro, and that's how it all started, bro. There's always a way to get your money, bro, whether it's like, even if you can't go to the gym, you can use body weights, you can use water weights, you can use dip bars, and that's all in your house, bro. If you can look around your house and be intentional with what you're looking for, you can find something in your house to start.
Bro, sometimes I put my daughter in the car seat. And the car seat got the little handle. I'm doing curls. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm working my delts, lifting that shit up. Like, bro, you could do it.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll just be holding my daughter like this, and I'll just do squats, you know, like in the room and shit like that.
That's fire, bro. That's what's up. And tell me, like, you say you were always, you know, very structured, very focused on your health while you were already in there. Just talk about some of the benefits of, like, you know, putting your personal development first that have helped you since you've been being out. Because I'm sure if you weren't focused on personal development, we probably wouldn't be sitting here today, bro.
Yeah, you know, I was always raised and taught, like, man, you know, one thing about you got to be presentable. You know, I'm representing not only me, but my people and, you know, everybody who has you know, a story like mine, you feel me? So who would I be if I was on here sloppy, or if I was trying to, you know, have motherfuckers, you know, turn a new leaf and live a new life, or, you know, just better themselves.
You're fat.
You know,
out of shape. Shout out.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, you know, I've always, even in the pen, you always got to be presentable, you know, look right, and, you know, just, you look good, you feel good. You feel me? Even just when people start out, they're always, I notice that they're hella worried about, you know, the results hella quick, but it's like, bro, it's a process. Yeah. But once you start seeing it, that lights that fire, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm looking good, and then you start feeling better about yourself. You know, you know, whatever you can, I don't know, bro. It's just like, it's like a therapy. You know, while I'm working out, I'm sitting there thinking about how, you know, whether it's conversations that I had and how I could have did it better, or, you know, different moves I can make. Yeah. I'm doing that all while I'm doing a few push-ups or just in the gym doing my thing. Yep. I feel like it's just my outlet. You feel me? And I feel like, honestly, bro, with the working out, eating right, eating healthy, putting your mindset first, bro, like, it's like you said, you were thinking about all those things, but since we're so, like, in shape, like, our brain operates differently. It's very much easier for us to see positive than negative, because we're already working so hard on ourselves to keep ourselves in a higher vibration. So when you get those thoughts or those ideas that might not be positive, it's very easy to distinguish, all right, bro, I'm not about to just throw all this away, because you put the work in on yourself. It's harder to just give up on yourself when you're intentionally working on yourself. You feel me? And I believe, like, it's important you got to do stuff intentionally for yourself daily to truly love yourself. It's okay. It's one thing to be like, oh, I love myself. Oh, I look good. But it's like, if you ain't do no work to acquire that feeling, to acquire that look, it's superficial, in my opinion, you know? Straight up. Yeah, a lot of people, I feel like, you know, they just, you know, they let themselves go, maybe because they really don't think of themselves as somebody who could get like that, or, you know, who could be in shape like that. But, you know, me, I've been a fan of myself. Like, you know, I talk highly of myself. Like, you know, sometimes I watch my videos, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker is tight. Like, you feel me? That's a bar, and that, you know, me being a fan of myself and wishing the best for myself and always trying to manifest my motherfucking dreams, you feel me? Like, that motivates me to always try to be in shape, you know, and especially my daughter too. I got a daughter now, and you know, I'm about to be 32. You know, I might not look it because I don't, you know.
Facts, bro.
I've been on my fitness hype, but you know, I'm getting up there, so I just want to be able to take care of my daughter, run around with her, and you know, just take care of myself, be there for my family.
That's the same thing I'm on, bro. People be like, oh, they be like, I want to have kids hella early because I don't want to be old parent. I'm like, bro, you ain't even doing, like, bro, regardless if you have them early, you're not doing the things it takes to even be able to play with. You're going to look old regardless, bro. It don't matter how old you are once you have the kid, bro. If you're not doing the shit to maintain the stamina, the ability, the capability to play with them and hang out with them, you're going to be an old parent, bro. It don't matter if you had them at 15, 12, 22, 25, bro. You know what I mean? So I salute you for that, bro. And you talked about like manifesting your dreams, manifesting your goals, right? You've been out, it's gonna be 4 years in April. What goals and dreams started to come to fruition after you saw the love you got and the way the videos started going? Like take us through like that first video and basically how we got to where we are now, because you said before the camera's on, you don't even work no more.
Yeah, bro, I gave that shit up. I felt like, you know, the job that I was doing, I wasn't getting recognized on the streets for the job I was doing. I was getting recognized, you feel me, for rocking with Thumps, for doing burpees, for skating and all that type of shit. You know, it's a risk, it's a gamble. You know, sometimes in the beginning you might not see the numbers you want to see, but I just felt like the universe was pulling me towards that, and I was miserable, bro. Like waking up, it was really taking, I was telling people like, bro, this fucking job is taking time away from what I really could be doing. Yeah. But you know, I wouldn't be here today without the fans. You know, everybody that's rocking with Thumps, man, y'all are the reason why I'm able to take care of my family without having to go to work and shit like that. And that's why I keep feeding everybody, you know, what they want to see, the Freestyle Fridays, you know, the merch, everything that I branched off to, because really I started with the burpees. And then it's just like, you know, me and my cameraman were talking, and he was like, just showcase everything you could do. So then I started doing backflips, explosive burpees. I started doing, and then I was like, you know what? I talked all those years about skating, you know, I feel like I could skate again, even though I took a 12-year break.
Same, bro.
And a lot of people were like, bro, you're not going to have it no more, and whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, yeah, right, fool. Like, I'm going to be good.
Hey, you're better than you were, huh?
Yeah, I was better than, I'm hitting shit that I'm like, when
never
I was a
could have
kid.
hit.
So, you know, everything that I've built so far, it's just purely off of the love that I see from the fans, and I'm just like, okay, well, shit, if that's what they want, I'm gonna give it to them, and it's been working out, you feel me?
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. And I swear, bro, seeing you skate and a couple other dudes like our age skate, bro, like I was like, man, because I was the same way. Like when I told you I went back and played football, and I used to tell dudes, man, as soon as I'm done with this football shit, I'm getting a skateboard, bro, because you can't fucking play football and skate. So hell yeah, bro, you definitely doing your shit, inspiring the people, you know what I mean? And I love the way you said, like, you know, if it wasn't for the fans, you wouldn't be here. So, you know, feed your community, bro. If you're doing anything online, like, don't worry about if you think it's good or if you like it, bro. Post it, and the algorithm and the people are going to tell you if it's good, bro. And once they tell you, keep doing what they want.
Straight up.
Bro.
Hey,
because
most of the videos that, you know, went crazy for me, I swear it was videos I was like, man, this is some bullshit. I'm going to delete it. And then I just posted it anyway because I needed it for the time slot. Yeah. And boom, the next thing you know, it's one of my highest videos. You feel me? And, you know, it's just, don't worry about the haters. Haters gonna come. And what I was always told is, man, if you ain't got haters, you probably ain't doing nothing worthy, you know what I'm saying, of doing something great.
You're not doing enough if you ain't got no haters.
You feel me? Because it's easy to hate. You know, when a motherfucker's shining, it's easy to hate.
Yeah.
So I embrace it. I love it. I be trolling the trolls on this motherfucker.
It's the best part, honestly. Yeah. And like you talked about the fitness, the burpees, you talked about the merch and the skating. It's like, what is, so rocking with Thumps, you know what I mean? What do you see it becoming in the future? What are we talking? Is it going to be just a personal brand? Like what's next for Thumps? You know, what's the next pivot or avenue you see yourself getting in? There's a rumor going around. I heard you got a song coming out or something. Like I heard you was dropping something.
Matter of fact, I just got a text while we was here. It's already dropped.
Okay.
So yeah, make sure you go check out my song Security. Make sure you check out my song Security by Thumps, man. All the motherfuckers that was talking shit on the North, man, you gonna hear it in that song. It's on YouTube. It's gonna be everywhere soon.
All DSPs.
Yep, straight up.
And do you see yourself like becoming a rapper, or is it just something you like? You fuck around. You just fucking around right now.
I've always been musical. You know, music revolves around my life. You know, it's my soundtrack. You know, every day I'm slapping, whether I'm in the car, cleaning, or working out. You know, it's music's been my thing. I just never considered myself a rapper. I just never really fucked with it. But I've made raps while I was on lockdown in the pen and shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Feel me?
It's okay. What would you want to give to the youth? Anybody trying to change or, you know, create content or just better themselves?
You don't have to catch 100 bodies. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to kill your whole entire fucking community to be somebody. You feel me?
Right? Motherfuckers be out here just trying to kill each other. Niggas that look just like us,
I'm pretty sure you
bro.
niggas is not killing all these niggas,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I ain't the smartest motherfucker, but I ain't been seeing too many deaths on the news.
The math don't math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then it's crazy. You know what tripped me out is like when I got out and everybody start rapping about specific shit. Like, man, I killed that nigga on Tuesday in February 2nd.
I was
like,
wearing this.
goddamn, bro.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. You're supposed to do it and they gotta catch us.
Your grandma was outside. You guys had that white Honda Civic, nigga. Like,
right?
fuck. Yeah.
Right?
For real.
Wild, bro. And it's like, so it's dope. I hear you getting into the music now.
We rolling?
They've been rolling.
Oh, okay,
You
my
feel
bad.
me? Yeah. You good? You ready?
Yep.
Okay, so you're getting into the music now. The song just came out. And I could tell, like, honestly, bro, from the outside looking in, bro, like, we didn't grow up together. We just from the same area, general area, and it's like you got all the opportunities, bro. You can take this shit, like, wherever you want, even when it comes to rapping or music, because you know how they say, like it's hard for Mexicans to break through that you feel me? That what's the word? Like, that ceiling, you know? But I feel like for us up north, like, all our Mexicans got sauce, bro. You feel me? It's different. It's not, you know, nothing against...
The talent's on a different level.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Nothing against, like, the Cholo community, the Cholo style, but that we've seen what that could do. You feel me?
It's a different time. It's a different generation. You feel me? We went through that, you know, shit in the pen. There was a lot of people that were, you know, used to how shit was back then, and they had a problem with young motherfuckers coming through. You know how we talk, you know, saying certain words and shit like that. Although we caught some flack, it's just like, OG, you got to understand, it's how we grow up, it's how we, you know, we do shit. So there's always going to be a generation that's mad and a generation that's starting to do shit.
And being that you're done working, you're a full-time content creator, I'm sure you got hella ideas.
Man.
What would you tell someone, like, in your position, either in your position now or someone just waiting to make that transition? Like what's your message to the youth and anybody just like you coming up?
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna tell you, man, is make sure you really decide, like, if this is what you want to do, go for it all the way. Invest in yourself, believe in yourself, because talking positively about yourself and just making the right moves, putting that work in, it'll pay off. Always. But also what you got to understand is nothing was built overnight. You know, you got to put that work in. There's going to be times where you ain't going to see a dime. You feel me? Like, you're not going to see money for a minute. Whether you know, I've talked to a lot of people who started off, you know, doing what I'm doing, or whether they're further in what I'm doing. You know, you don't see a lot of things for a long time, but that blessing will come for you, you know, you being dedicated and all that shit, man. Like, life is bigger. The opportunities are bigger now, you know, now that social media is a thing and we're getting paid off this shit. You know, back in the day, motherfuckers was on the corner slanging crack and this and that, you know, like, we don't got to do that no more. We slanging hoodies with our names on it, you know, we selling songs, content. You know, we selling workout packages, you know, whatever hustle you got, man, as long as it's legit and we don't got to worry about going to the penitentiary, although that's a part of life. Sometimes you might have to go, or, you know, whatever you choose to do, but the goal is to stay out and feed your family, you feel me? So if I could do that legitly, just off of helping you do some burpees, you know, showing you my skills on a skateboard, whatever it is, that's what I want to do, and feed my family with that shit. You don't gotta, you know, kill your whole community, catch 400 bodies, and, you know, have a switchy on everything you got. Like, bro, motherfuckers really ain't even doing that. Like we touched on earlier, like, it's only a small percentage of motherfuckers who's really sliding. Yeah, and so,
they're in jail usually.
And the math ain't mathing. I'm checking certain cities' populations, and I'm like, damn, well, there's only 400 people there. You killed everybody there? You're the only house standing? Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro, and that's the same message I try to push, you know, like, by all means, like, you know, be yourself, do what you want, but it's like the goal. You got the choice, right? We all got free will. The choice is yours, but the ultimate goal is to be free, bro.
Yeah.
Be free, help your people, push positivity, and like do the work. Like it's gonna take longer than you think. You know what I mean? But it's never gonna be as hard as you expect, bro. And if you do the work, I believe you'll always get a turn.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
believe in karma a lot, man. Like I believe just being a good person, you know, although sometimes we may have to get into some greasy shit, like, man, as long as your heart is in the right place and in the right direction, and you choose to do good deeds more than bad, you know, I feel like it'll come back around, and I'm a testament to it, bro. Like, I was a motherfucker who was painted as doing a crazy-ass shooting, doing all this time. I'm just nothing but a gang member. But I'm out here, and I got motherfuckers sending me messages like, hey, man, I want to thank you, you know. We don't know each other, but watching your videos, I got back into fitness and this and that. Like, I don't even get paid off that, but just hearing that, it's just like, it proves that I'm on the right path.
Hell yeah, bro. And that's like any sign of progress is a sign to keep going, bro.
Yeah.
Like just start, and I promise you, you don't gotta be perfect. You don't gotta know how it's gonna work, because I'm sure you didn't know how none of this was gonna work. You just got out there and started, and the universe, God, He just started giving you the next step. The next step, and it all comes to keep
recognize the signs too. Like, man, when you do shit, or you know, like how I did, I posted them first burpee videos, and I seen the momentum, I seen the support. You gotta ride with it. When you in that light, you gotta shine to get, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep going to let that light keep shining. And then you could start, you know, once you shine bright enough, you can start putting the light on all your homies, all your people, your community, your city, you know, whatever you wanna do. It's power in that shit, man, and it's all off of just an idea, off of what you wanna do. Like, bro, it's burpees. You know, I've been doing that since I was 16. But just because of that, that opened up so many doors for me. It's like, I'm so grateful to the universe for that.
Hell yeah, bro. And I just want to say thank you for you know, being down.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for inviting me to your community and being just the individual you are, bro. And I want to tell you, like, keep going, keep striving, keep doing your shit. I know you're not gonna stop. And tell the people where they can find you, where they can find the song, your Instagram handles, and we're gonna wrap it up, my boy.
Yeah, man, you can find me on YouTube, Rockin' with Thumps. You find me on TikTok, Thumps916, and then on Instagram at The Real Thumps, THA. Check the song out, Security by Thumps. It's on YouTube, Rockin' with Thumps. It's also on J4L Records, man. Check it out. I appreciate y'all. You already know you rockin' with Thumps.
Hell yeah, my boy. Appreciate you, brother.
Hell yeah,
good shit. Hell
appreciate
yeah,
you.
yes
For
sir.
sure.
That was fire.
Hell
that was fire.
Hell yeah.
Come on. What? Good shit, brother.
Yeah, you already
Hell
know
yeah,
it's
you
all
killed
love,
that
bro.
motherfucker. Yeah. Appreciate
Fuck,
you,
a couple
bro.
times I was like, man, I'm fucking straying away from what the fuck I'm talking about, bro.
Nah, you just.
It's that 805.